So, time to wrap up our meeting. I think everything's going to be well. We have Maria in all her classes. We have Tony in all of his classes. I think everything should be good. You said you're doing okay?
Yeah, I really enjoyed meeting all of Tony's teachers and counselors and everything tonight. It was a good time. I hope you have a good year with him because he's been real aggressive at home, swinging at me and his sister. So good luck.
Mrs. Sanchez, maybe we need to have more conversation.
Okay. I guess I could have a few more minutes.
So, repeat what you said again.
Tony's just been a little aggressive at home. He's been swinging at me when he gets angry, and going after his sister quite a bit. Fighting over the remote turns into this whole brawl. Like, it's crazy.
Okay. So, you've been noticing aggression with Tony at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because I saw forms of minor aggression here at school, but it never really got to my hands yet. But it's interesting because the principal sent me an email concerning Tony, but he just said, check this out when you can. Let me sign in for a second. The email says, watch it with Mrs. Sanchez. Okay.
Should I be worried?
So, yes, my initial assessment was correct. I did notice some forms of aggression in Tony, but they never gave me the case yet. But now the principal is saying that he would like me to show you this video. This is them at recess.
That's my Tony? Okay. What?
I'm sorry you had to see that.
I mean, when was this?
This was on Monday.
So I heard about that. I didn't know it was like that bad though.
Yes, so I've definitely been Tony's social worker in the past when he was in like first grade, second grade, and then he fell off my caseload. That was when the students first came. I got acquainted with all of those students, and he seemed fine then. But I've noticed a height in his aggression, and now the principal would like me to deal with it. So I would like to ask you: have you noticed a change in Tony's behavior?
I mean, yeah, he's been getting super angry, like flip of the switch, really quick, and it usually ends up with he'll whack my arm. He's actually like tackling down his sister. I don't know if that's just like normal like sibling play, but I don't know. It seems to get pretty aggressive. Like she's had a couple like knee skids on her from like the carpet or like a bruise. But I don't know. He's made a couple holes in the walls.
And you said that so he goes at his sister. He's made a couple holes in the walls. Tell me about a time period. Tell me what is sparking this anger, in your opinion.
I don't really know.
Does Tony perhaps have his father in his life?
No. So his father died 5 years ago in a car accident, as well as his mother. So.
And he died in a car accident. That must be so hard for you to deal with.
Yeah. It was my oldest son.
How does that make you feel, Mrs. Sanchez?
It's not something I like to talk about a lot. It still feels like it was like not real, like it was a nightmare or something. I don't really want to talk about it.
Mrs. Sanchez, I know what you're going through is very difficult and challenging to handle. It's very difficult. Where was Tony at the time of the accident?
So, I was at their apartment with him at the time because his parents were out on a date, and I said I would watch the kids for the night. So he was with me.
He was with you.
I was tucking him into bed. It was nighttime. I was reading him a story when I got the call.
And who called you?
The police. They found his wallet address, decided to call the home phone number. They looked that up, and I happened to be there.
So now, you got the call from the police that night. You had to leave Tony, right?
He came with me. And his sister.
And his sister.
I couldn't leave them home alone. I mean, they were only 8 and, 5 at that time?
It's a lot of responsibilities. In a bit, we're gonna talk about that dynamic at home since then. But for now, let's continuously talk about the death of your eldest son. How did Tony handle that death?
You know, that's actually a really good question because I don't remember him ever grieving, really. He just kind of went on with his life.
And that's what I wanted to ask. Did he ever have a chance to properly grieve? So tell me about that night. You guys go to the hospital. What happened?
So we went to the hospital. They asked for me to identify the body. He stayed behind in the waiting room with one of the nurses. And I don't know if, I think that was probably the better thing to do. Because if he would have seen what his parents looked like, it was...
Mrs. Sanchez, I don't want you to second guess yourself. You made the right decision.
I don't know. He didn't really get to say goodbye because they were both cremated, so he didn't get to see them,
So now, okay, I would like to ask you, when did this happen?
So it was 5 years ago, and then I took them in to my home.
And you've been taking care of them for the last 5 years.
Yeah, so I've been taking care of them the last 5 years, and kind of on and off before then. His parents struggled a lot.
Okay.
A lot of times they were homeless, living on the streets.
So from the time that the situation happened in these past 5 years, has Tony ever received some therapy?
Should I have gotten him therapy?
Well, it's not a matter of what you should and should not have done. It's sometimes these situations can be very traumatic. And to help trauma, there's trauma-based counseling, there's trauma-based therapy. Yes. So you mentioned that you don't know if he has properly grieved this scenario.
Yeah, I've never seen him cry.
And you know that's very unlikely. That's very unlikely, especially at his age, being that he's only 13 years old.
Yeah, so his dad was a drunk, so he kind of had an on-off relationship with him. His mom, he was a little bit closer with, but I don't know if he's just trying to be the older brother, because, he had his younger sister, trying to be the man in the situation. I don't know. He just, he never really, I don't know why he didn't cry or anything.
Okay, so now Tony, if I'm hearing you correctly, so the accident took place 5 years ago, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You've taken him in for the last 5 years. Him and his sister Maria, correct?
Yes.
Okay, is there a male figure in Tony's life?
So I have a husband.
Okay.
Mr. Sanchez.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 68, he's 77. Our health isn't always the best.
Mm-hmm.
He recently had a stroke. It's left him impaired in a few ways. He isn't really great with his speech right now. Can't really understand what he's saying. He's kind of learning how to talk again. So he is in rehab right now for that. He also had a drinking problem. I don't know if the stroke was because of that, but he's a loving man. He really is. He's a loving man. He's not. But I don't know. I don't know if it's he just has a different parenting style. He doesn't really connect with Tony on a more like emotional level. He's more of like just his authority figure, I guess.
Okay, I'm hearing a lot. A lot is going on in your life, and a lot is going on in Tony's life. Okay, so I would like to ask you, how have you, how has your time been with Tony, being that you may have to take care of your husband? Have you been able to give Tony the necessary attention that you was able to give him before his parents passed?
I'm trying my best. I mean, Mr. Sanchez, I'm trying my best to help him as well because, well, I have to help him up and down the stairs as much as possible because, I mean, our bedroom's up there, the bathroom's up there, the shower's up there, like everything, you know, you got, it's hard to just stay in the living room with him. He's got to be able to get up there. So most of the time I've been focusing on him. And then I also have to pay the bills because he's not at work anymore because he can't work. He doesn't have a lot of retirement money. You know, we've always struggled our whole life. So I haven't really been able to focus on Tony. You know, I used to read him bedtime stories, and then now he's older. And
You always told me you were a strong woman, and you really are. You really
Tony
are.
said that?
We all say it. We all say it, Ms. Sanchez. But I want to go back to Tony. I know a lot is going on in the house, but I want to specifically deal with Tony for today, and we can speak about anything else after we find out what's best for Tony.
Okay.
So Tony has not had any chance to properly grieve, nor has he had therapy. He may not be getting necessary attention at home because you said you have to watch others as well. How is his relationship with his sister?
So it used to be really good. They used to be really close. They never, honestly, I guess when they first moved in, they would sleep together. I don't know if that was a comfort thing for them or whatever. They were really close. They were always side by side, but recently he's been so mean to her. And I don't know where it's coming from. Because, I mean, poor Maria, she's so sweet. She's such a little sweetheart. I mean, she never talks back. She gets good grades for the most part. You know, she tries. She stays out of his business. You know, she supports him at his sporting events. But, boy, have they been fighting.
Siblings.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So I hear the family dynamic. Does Tony have any other male figure in his life?
Well, the only other male figure in his life is his uncle, my youngest son, who's also a John. So
That's no, yeah.
he's only around, you know, for holidays. I don't really let Tony see him too much. So, I mean, he's not a reliable man.
How does Tony feel about that?
I don't know.
Okay. And that's so pretty much Tony's on his own. Okay, so we're definitely going to want to intervene. We're definitely going to want some intervention, and that just simply means some help, some extra help. I know you're a great help. I'm going to do whatever I can do, but I think we would like to see what else is out there. How does that sound, Mrs. Sanchez?
That sounds great.
Okay, so I would like to get him, if this is okay with you, I would like to refer him to a youth counselor that specializes in trauma.
Okay. Where would this take place?
Well, this is going to take place. We have many centers that we have, and what we will do is we'll put your zip code in like the database, and it'll load the closest counselor that is to you.
So, I mean, I work as much as possible. Is there any way,
Oh, don't
like, is there
worry about that.
transportation for him? Because I'm not sure I'd be able to bring him.
Yes, Mrs. Sanchez, we definitely can provide transportation as well. Yes. Tony's 13, so he definitely can sign off on his school Metro cards.
Okay.
Yes. How does that sound?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, we're thinking of getting him like a cell phone soon or something, so I guess I would feel fine with him
Okay.
walking to the bus.
Okay. And I would like to ask, is there anything Tony was interested in doing hobby-wise? Because, Mr. Sanchez, there's a lot of research out there that says sometimes when you're dealing with anger, it's good to maybe exercise or maybe play a physical sport to channel that anger into that direction to maybe help him. So I would like to know, was he into any sports?
Yeah, so he was into basketball. You know, something I've noticed lately is some spray paint cans in our garage.
Mm-hmm.
He tends to go out into the woods and like he'll paint on like the trees.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's not doing buildings yet, but maybe he's into art. I don't know if that's something that can
Okay.
help. I'm nervous that he's gonna start doing the illegal
Mhm.
stuff, whether, you know, it's negative
he
or
hasn't
positive.
he hasn't been dealing with that yet, so
Yeah.
there's no need to worry about that. I think his aggression, I honestly believe it has a lot to do with what he's experiencing. He's handling a lot of just a 13-year-old child.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have a new art class. I'll definitely speak to the guidance counselor. And you know, he's 13 years old. This is his first semester. It would be nice to give him a class that he can unwind. It doesn't have to be. It's a great class to balance with lunch and gym and art. It's a great class, like I was saying, to unwind. He doesn't have to like worry about a test or definitely an art, any form of expression. We have a new teacher who's wonderful.
Yeah, I think that would be good for him. I'm actually used to be an artist back in the day. I loved painting. A little bit different than graffiti, but
What do they say, like grandmother, like son, or did I make that up?
you might have made that. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. So I want to recap. Before, you know what? Even before we recap it, what would you like for Tony?
I would really like to utilize the counseling, the youth counseling that you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be great for him. Getting him hopefully signed up for that art class, I think would be good. Maybe is there any like? I just need like coping skills for him. I need help with that.
Yes, definitely. I've been speaking to the principal, and what I wanted to do is even give that training in every classroom. But I definitely will specialize with that with Tony one-on-one sessions where I can help him with different coping skills. I can give him like a stress ball to use during class. And I'm definitely want to speak with his teachers so they can understand and help him and accommodate Tony, basically. To understand his form of aggression is not because he's a bad kid. We both know Tony.
Yeah.
We both know
He's
Tony.
my little meatball. I love him.
Yes.
He's just going through something.
So how are you feeling, Mrs. Sanchez?
I'm feeling a lot better about Tony.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be able to give him the time and attention that he deserves from me as his mother figure. So hopefully Mr. Sanchez will get better soon and I can work on that. So thank you.
Yes. Okay. So now, Tony, along with his aggression, has been hanging out with a few other children that I wouldn't recommend. Do you know who Tony's friends are? Have you seen Tony's friends?
So after school, there's one boy, I don't know his name, but he's tall.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty tall for his age. Jason. Yeah, that sounds right. He comes over with him sometimes after school and they bike around town and stuff, but obviously, I mean, I'm either at work or tending to my husband, so.
I may, in my observation, I think Tony just wants a friend at this time. So that's another reason why I'm interested in pairing him up with a peer mentoring group, like a big brothers, big sisters.
That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
I think that's what he needs. If he's into extracurricular activities, we have art during his schedule. We're gonna have We're gonna have the counseling outside of class.
Get him to
Outside of school.
shoot some hoops with him or something.
Exactly. He'll definitely be able to play basketball.
Yeah.
And basketball trials will keep you posted. So you know what? I think we have a good plan. I think we have a good plan. Is there anything else you think we can add to our plan, or you would like for Tony?
I just as long as we can get help with like the money with transportation.
Yes.
I can't necessarily afford to buy the bus ticket, so
Mhm. We definitely can handle that, Mrs. Sanchez. So now let's recap. We're definitely going to get you your bus ticket.
Mhm.
We're going to get you the counseling
Okay.
for Tony. We're definitely going to try to get him signed up for basketball, but it's on him to make the tryouts. We're definitely going to I'm going to go over coping skills
Okay.
with Tony. And we're going to get him signed up for Big Brothers and Big Sisters so he can have that mentorship. So hopefully now in the household, just checking with him, how's basketball, how's school, because he may need a lot more attention at home because he's dealing with a lot right now.
Yeah.
Mrs. Sanchez, you're doing a wonderful job as a mother. I don't want you to put too much on yourself or blame yourself for anything. You've always been strong, and I commend you for that.
I'm trying my best.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's different when you had sons your own 20 whatever years
Yeah.
ago, and now it's like raising a whole new kid.
Mhm.
It's different age, different era.
So you know, Mrs. Sanchez, what I want to do with you is I want to track Tony's progression at home and as well as in school. So how about I get you on my calendar for 2 weeks from now, and if you would like it, all three of us can meet. If you and I would like to meet, if you'd like to do bi-weekly with three of us, however you would like. So what would you like?
I would love to meet. Is there any way you could come to us?
Home visit, that is definitely in the arsenal.
I would love to meet with the three of us. I think that would be super beneficial.
Okay, so we're gonna
Maybe
do
help
that.
mediate a little bit.
Okay, so I'm checking my schedule. Does November 10th work?
Is that a Tuesday?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I get out of work at 4. So
Okay.
I'll be home by 4:30.
5:30 work for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 5:30 Tuesday. Okay, November 10th. Okay, and we're gonna do that the following so we can track Tony's progression and to better his aggression.
Okay.
I know it rhymes, but
Tongue tie.
I know, right? So okay, so that's what we're gonna do, and things are gonna go well for me.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so
I'm
much.
very
Mrs.
thankful for
Sanchez.
what you are doing for my
I
son.
try my best. He's a good boy.
Thank you.
All right, Mrs. Sanchez, let me leave you to the boy. Ah.
I'll see you soon.
See you soon, Mrs.